then two joystick, Neo Geo, Neo Geo.
Retro Legends Arcade. Retro Legends Arcade. Clank, clank, clank. The machines never fade. Neon lights buzz in the haze. Joystick dreams in pixel mazes. Fingers dance, electric craze. You win, you lose, the screen displays. Retro Legends Arcade, where heroes are made. Insert your coin, don't be afraid. Retro Legends Arcade. Pinball clatters, jackpot rings. 8-bit world where power springs. Twitches hum, the chaos sings. Forever young on timeless wings. Press start to play. The night won't decay. Retro Legends Arcade, where heroes are made. Insert your coin, don't be afraid. Retro Legends Arcade. Retro Legends Arcade. Retro Legends Arcade.
Hello and welcome to the Retro Legends Arcade. Episode 70. Hard to believe. 70 episodes down. It's the Retro Legends Arcade. First off, I want to say hello to the chat. We got a lot of people here. Let me just say hello to people who are catching us live. Dan, good to see you. Crane, live on YouTube. He kicked some booty on the Neo Geo games this week. That's what I'm talking about. Splash that like, everyone. We're going to be talking a ton about the Neo Geo tonight. Cannot wait. I've got some great topics. I've got some great creators that are sharing content that we could talk about and react to some different things that are going on. Got Sacro here. Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Good to see Sacro here, a champion of AtGames Pinball. He's always in the top 10. Great arcade gamer as well. Got a hot news story. I'm not going to cover this tonight, but the creator that made the chips in AES Plus has a video. It's in French. It's a French video, but it is out. So we'll probably react to that on the next show, but that just dropped. Got Sacro here. We got a $1.99 super chat. What happens if we hit the goal? If we hit the goal, I'll go an extra 15 minutes. I can also drop a link if anyone that is familiar with the show wants to come on. You could come on. So I'll do a 15-minute extended show, and I'll drop a link for anyone in the audience that wants to come on to connect to us here live on YouTube. Pretty brave. Oh, I'm shaking. That's a little scary. We got my good friend Mikey Yoon here. What's up, guys? Who is not a YouTuber, but did make an awesome video on the like. And by the way, Mikey, check. There's some new comments in there. He's ready to talk some Neo Geo. We got the #1 AtGames pinball player in the entire world, Mad Ben Hand here. #1 with the bullet, by far the #1 player. Welcome to the chat. Shigamane, let's say Shig Mega Me Talks. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Shin Mega Me Talks. He said his soul is ready to talk about some Neo Geo. The arcade is now open. Welcome to the chat, Drew Drums. I love all these new faces. Awesome. We had him compete in one of our shmup games, Old School Gamers, back here at the arcade. He's going to hang with us for a while. The footage of the beginnings from the Waybacks Arcade. That is the biggest arcade in Louisiana. That's my local arcade. That's the arcade when I want to go to a great arcade. That's where I go. Okay. It's dubs now. I was just watching it. Yeah, I was just watching it too. It's an interesting watch. So we'll definitely be covering that on the next show. I didn't have time to prepare for that. But that is fantastic news. So, a little bit about the show. This is not just a show. It is a show, but it also has another purpose. This is the Retro Legends Arcade. What the Retro Legends Arcade is not only a show, it is a weekly leaderboard where we compete every week on different games. Now, we've been doing Neo Geo games now every week for a while. So we're going to go through the entire Neo Geo game library. But if you're not familiar with me, I am Papa Brad. I'm a competitive pinball player. I'm ranked in the top 10 AtGames pinball players in the world by the IFPA. I play pinball. I love arcade games. I always have loved arcades. So this is the Retro Legends Arcade Leaderboards. There are links in the description of the video each time we do a show. And the audience can play these classic arcade games. And all week long we score chase each other just to sharpen our skills. Plus, since I compete in the IFPA AtGames tournaments, it gives me an easy way to keep track of my scores so I can look back and see how I did. See what is a good score in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pinball. I can go look, you know. What's a good score in Berzerk? I can go back and look. This is a fun leaderboard. It's for free for the community. Something I provide, part of the show. The Retro Legends Leaderboards. Everyone, there's no gatekeeping. Everyone's welcome to participate. It's not hidden behind a Discord. All you got to do is click on a link and you can play any of these games. You're welcome to participate. Hey, we got Potion Sword Run here. Hello, chat. Hope all is good. Glad to see you. We're going to be talking about Potion Sword Run in a bit. Not in a bad way, only in a good way. But we have some things to talk about with Potion Sword Run. Okay. I want to thank everyone that's been watching the show or watching especially the Neo Geo content. But these are our leaderboards. I'm going to take them down now for a while. I'm going to clear up some memory. I'm actually going to remove them completely because it helps my videos run smoother. But I've been doing this for 5 years. And I want to say thank you to the audience, everyone that watches my content. Last month was my best month ever. 126,517 views in 1 month for Papa Brad's Gaming, which I think that's my highest or maybe one of my highest months. It's a pretty incredible accomplishment. And if that wasn't enough, my YouTube channel just hit 2 million views. None of this would be possible without you, and I want to thank everyone that watches. If you watch it on replay, it does not matter. If you catch it live, that's extra special, because a very small percentage catch my shows live. So we're here on Saturday nights. You got to love arcade games and pinball to catch these shows live. But everyone's welcome. Hey, we got Bliss 2121. We're just getting started, Bliss 2121. Doing a fantastic job picking our pinball games to play in VR. We just launched The Walking Dead last night. Talk a little bit about the show. The show I split into 2 shows. I'm going to do one show. It's going to be about arcade games, Neo Geo, and arcade games. And I'm doing a separate show, still Retro Legends Arcade, but it will be all pinball content. So the reason why is I don't want the show to get to where it's like 3 hours long. I would rather have 2 good shows than one show that is super duper long. Plus, it allows people to tune into what they're really interested in. If you're really interested in Neo Geo and arcade games, you don't have to sit through the pinball content. If you just want pinball content, I have a show, still Retro Legends Arcade, still the same leaderboard, same fun, but more focused on pinball. I'm super into pinball, like I said. I'm in the top 10 players in the world at AtGames. Virtual pinball, it's something I love, something I participate in every week. You know, I got a lot of haters, but what they hate the most of all is my success. And I'm going to keep doing what I do because obviously it's working. It's been working. Okay? And I got a lot of hustle. I'm constantly putting out videos. If you're subscribed to my channel, you know there's always something dropping on this channel. Okay? So, that being said, you know what time it is. What time is it? It's time to watch Grandma play some Berzerk. And here we go.
You wanna play Berzerk? You're on. Hey, where you going? The video arcade! You can't play Berzerk at home. Yeah, you can. Atari!
It's Berzerk inside an electric maze, where robots shoot with electric rays.
Take that, turkey!
So look out, don't get trapped, or you might get zapped. Berzerk is here from Atari.
Can you beat that?
And only for systems from Atari.
Have you played Atari today?
Alrighty, this is Papa Brad. Let's play some Berzerk. Starting off with the first level. First level, they don't shoot it yet. Like many great arcade games, starts off pretty easy. And you're like, yeah, I got this. But it ramps up pretty quickly. First level. Should easily be able to kill all the robots and have plenty of time to spare. Let's let Evil Auto come out.
Intruder alert.
Those of you that aren't aware, Evil Auto is indestructible. He's made to rush you through the levels.
The intruder must not escape.
Love the speech in this game. Oh! There are the diagonal shots. Stay out of the diagonals is one of the key strategies. Above all else, you want to stay out of the diagonal shots of the robots. That is a key to getting a good score. You gotta stay out of the diagonal shots.
Intruder alert, intruder alert.
You notice I usually do a double shot because that way if the robot does a shot, you cancel it, but there's still another bullet behind it. So you'll notice as I play, like I said, I generally shoot in double shots. That's the reason for it.
Charge the humanoid.
Evil Auto's going to be coming out in second now. Yep, putting the pressure on. I don't know if I'll be able to clear this board. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Can I get them to walk into each other? Shoot each other? There we go. Got it. You can jiggle the joystick and it confuses the robots. Confusing the robots will make them shoot each other sometimes, which is awesome. Okay, I'm up to the white robots. 2090 is my score. I think I didn't get too high of a score on Retro Legends. I should have no problem beating that today, but I did have a pretty good game. Really not phenomenal though. See some great competition on the leaderboards already, which is good. Got some pretty high scores to beat. I don't know if we'll be able to get up to that level, but great to see people bringing their A game. That was a careless mistake. Oh, less talking. Stand diagonal. Oh, stand diagonal. Come on, come get some. There you go. Diagonals are key. You gotta stay out of them.
Intruder alert.
Go. Go.
The intruder must not escape.
Gotta get out of the diagonals. Immediately get out of the diagonal shots. My number one strategy tip is going to be immediately get out of any diagonal shot. Any way a robot can hit you diagonally, that's usually the most common way that I die.
Intruder alert.
Try to fire at him straight on. Oh, this is bad. I'm going to run on line. I'm going to land. Go. Oh, almost made it. On that one. Berzerk, video game made by Stern, the pinball company, in 1980. $33.80 is my top score right now. So just clock the score $33.80. Let's play again.
Attack it.
That's a pretty good game. I don't know if I'll beat it. Let me give it a shot.
Shoot the humanoid.
Let me give it a shot. This game is under tournament play
Get it.
in Retro Legends, a brand new show I'm doing.
Intruder alert.
And playing a classic arcade will be a key part of the show. Every week you get a new classic arcade to
Intruder
play.
must not escape.
This week, of course, we're doing Berzerk. But each week will be different, and I'm going to let the viewers decide which games we play.
Attack the humanoid.
It's going to be fun.
Intruder alert. Intruder alert.
We're doing pretty good on YouTube. I probably am going to do some rewards on the show, but the rewards will only go to people that play the games. So if you're a player, if you actually play arcade games,
Intruder must not
put in
escape.
some scores.
Kill the intruder.
Did set a limit. I do want to at least see 20 players. It's the goal for the first competition. We get 20 players. I feel like we're off to a good start. It's like a classroom full of people. That's a lot of people. 1,500. Got all my lives still. Not too bad. Better not jinx it though. Oh, and look at that. I jinxed it. Shouldn't have said anything. Once again, the key strategy, as soon as you materialize, get out of any diagonal shot areas.
Destroy the humanoid.
Another secret is use the walls.
Intruder alert. Intruder
Trying to use the
alert.
walls here. Wow, that took a lot of shots. Come on, run to each other. Run to each other. Get him. Oh!
Humanoid.
Took each other out. Took each other out. That's pretty cool.
Destroy the humanoid.
Can I hear him in this diagonal? Come on now.
Intruder alert. Intruder alert.
Let's go. Come on, man. Go. There we go. Nice, that was sweet.
The humanoid must not escape.
Definitely on the edge of control on that one.
Intruder alert. Intruder
Wow, I
alert.
didn't get much time. I'll take this little
The
exit.
intruder must not escape.
Oh, get out of the diagonal. Get out of the diagonals. Stay out of the diagonals.
Intruder alert. Intruder alert.
I'm right on top of you. I don't know if I'll be able to get these two. Oh my goodness, go.
The humanoid must not escape.
Destroy the intruder.
Whoa, look at these robots. These suckers are glowing. I got the neon green ones, look at them. They're glowing me up. Whoa. Walk into each other, dummies. There you go. Come on, shoot each other. Walk into each other. You got one left. Let's go. Yes.
The intruder must not escape.
New high score. Immediately get out of the diagonals. It's the key. I'm teaching my tricks.
The humanoid.
Immediately get out of diagonal shots. Use the walls.
Intruder alert.
I don't know if I'll be
Intruder
able to
alert.
get these two. I'm not going to know if I'll be able to get these two or
Get
not.
the intruder.
Whoa, go.
The intruder must not escape.
4,310.
Not
Oh, yeah, beat on me.
Intruder.
That's a good game. I'm going to clock that one in. All the scores go through iScored. It's the same thing that actual arcades use. You just play the game on any platform you choose. Shoot a photograph of it with your phone. And that's it. Could not be easier. Hope you enjoyed this short video. Me playing some Berzerk, entering a score. Gonna up my high score up to 4,310. It's been Papa Brad reminding to stay legit and play some Berzerk. All right. Play some Berzerk. Link is in the description of this video. We're going to start our Neo Geo news with the first topic of the evening. Let me add this to stage. Oh my goodness, I've done this before, but I made a PowerPoint. That's how excited I am for this topic. Okay. This topic came to me care of Gen X Gamer also talked about this, and he also linked to the Reddit, so I went to the Reddit and read the article. Check out Gen X Gamer here on YouTube. This is from Reddit. The Neo Geo AES Plus is completely immune to what killed the original, the vinyl record effect. I had a random thought today. We all know why the original Neo Geo eventually died. SNK got caught in a massive industry shift they could not fight. The market moved aggressively from 2D sprites to 3D polygons, and expensive ROM cartridges got slaughtered by cheap CD-ROMs. The same shift is basically what killed the traditional arcade too. But here's the thing, the new Neo Geo AES Plus is completely immune to every single thing that killed the original hardware. Nobody buying an AES Plus today gives a dang if the modern console can push 8K 3D graphics. We aren't looking for realism or cheap media. We specifically want the strict hardware constraints, the massive hand-drawn 2D sprites, and the chunky, heavy physical cards. It's exactly what happened with vinyl records. Vinyl didn't make a massive comeback because it's more convenient or better technology. It came back because people craved the pure, physical, raw experience that originally caused it to become obsolete. The original MVS AES had an absolute insane 14-year official lifespan. From 1990 to 2004. But because of this, the AES Plus is totally free from having to compete against Nintendo or Sony in the mainstream commercial market. Doesn't have an expiration date. As long as the indie and homebrew community keeps pushing the hardware and utilizing what is hopefully a big enough overclock to smooth out old limits, there's absolutely no reason this new era of the Neo Geo can't outlive the original 14-year run. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? He agrees. Crane Live on YouTube says 3D games kind of sucked until the Dreamcast. We're going to talk about some of those early 3D games. By the way, this was cool. That's what the robot's saying. Berzerk, intruder alert, quarters detected, coin detected in pocket. Awesome. I get where you're coming from. Okay. So, and then here were some different responses. Check this out. I made a PowerPoint. These are a few that I thought were interesting. The Neo Geo stopped because arcade machines moved on. The market was never an AES games. SNK didn't make the console for the mass market. It was there more as a marketing exercise for the wealthy to have an actual arcade game in their home for private use. That's the thing. When you have a Neo Geo, you have an actual arcade game without taking up arcade game space. It's the exact same hardware as it had in the arcade. That was the draw and the dream of the Neo Geo. And now we're all going to be able to have this at home. So exciting. Once the MVS market shifted onto more advanced hardware and games, the AES supply of games dried up. It was never a conventional home console. Games were not designed for the AES. It played games designed for coin ops. That is the true secret sauce and magic of the Neo Geo. It's that you're getting a coin op hardware at home. Owning pure arcade games that were out of reach of most people in the 90s is the appeal of the AES Plus. You buy an AES Plus with the knowledge that there's already a finite number of games that will run on it. That's the thing, that 100 amazing games, maybe there's a bit more than that, but there's definitely 100 probably good ones. You're not buying it for the new games. And maybe a bonus if there are any new retro ones you want. But if you want new games, buy a PS5 Pro and play GTA 6. I thought that was an interesting comment. Like, people aren't buying the Neo Geo mostly for new games. Now, there's going to be homebrew. I think this is going to be fantastic for homebrew games. I think the Neo Geo will grow because of the AES Plus. But the lure of this initially is to play the original Neo Geo library. It's from Neo Alec. The vinyl record effect means what in this context? Vinyl has a niche market now, but it can't be compared to when the format was in its prime. Same with the Neo Geo. It's going to be a niche. It doesn't serve the same purpose as the system's original run. So I'm not sure what completely immune means. I can see the point of the post. Then 80s Gamer responds, when I say immune, I mean the exact same things that killed the original console can't hurt it now. Back in the day, the industry was shifting to 3D polygons and cheap CDs that completely ruined SNK because those massive 2D carts could not compete. That's where I'm making a comparison. CDs came out and basically wiped out vinyl because everyone just assumed the new tech was better. But years later, people realized they actually missed the original, the whole physical and tactile feel of records. They missed the big records with the album sleeves. It's the same thing here. The AES is immune to modern tech shifts because literally nobody is buying one. Gives a toss if a PS5 can do 4K graphics. We're buying it specifically because we want 2D sprites and big physical cards. It does not have to fight a tech war anymore. So those old threats, literally, they just don't apply to it. No kids in the neighborhood had an AES. I didn't even know about the thing until I was in my 20s. I learned about the AES when I really started getting hardcore into arcade, collecting arcades and the arcade hobby. I learned about the AES, but it was still outside of my reach because of the cost. It's running out of quarters just watching? Okay. Devastator Omega with a smart comment. Buying a Neo Geo AES Plus is to get away from the modern game nonsense. I do agree. I don't want to connect it to the internet. I don't want to buy DLC for it. You know, I just want to have the original Neo Geo experience. Oh no, I disagree. Vinyl here in Colorado is huge. Well, that's what they're saying. The people went back to wanting records. When the CDs came out, everyone switched to CDs, and look, it went full circle. Now people want to listen to vinyl again. They don't want a CD or a digital download. You know, I mean, CD sections are disappearing. Records also give great sounds. It has that analog sound. We'll be talking about Moto Linux in a bit. He made a fantastic video. It's got an awesome, it has me talking in it. I don't know how he did that. Some computer magic. Gifted 5 Papa Brad's gaming memberships. Also, let me shout out Crane Live back here. Also gave $1.99. If we make the goal, I'll drop a link, and anyone that wants to join will go 15 more minutes. So, thank you so much, Moto Linux. I'm going to show one super chat for both of you guys. Let me pick a good one. I'll pick a short one so we get back to the topic at hand. This is a fun short one.
Neo Geo, Neo Geo. 4 white buttons and 2 joysticks. Neo Geo, Neo Geo. Cool red cabin and name that bitch. Neo Geo, Neo Geo. 4 white buttons and 2 joysticks. Neo Geo, Neo Geo. Cool red cabin and name that bitch.
There you go, Keith Apicary, man. Classic. Link to his channel's in the description. Go check out his videos. Every time I get on this channel, I end up being there for about an hour. He's got some great videos. Does all kind of really cool things. Check out that creator. Fantastic. Fun show that he did talking about the classics. Check that out. If you like retro gaming, you got to see that. It's fantastic. Yeah, so, I mean, I think that's what we're going. We're going back to that. Good to see Moto Linux here. Yep, that is my jam too. Once I learned that song, I mean, that is a celebration of Neo Geo if I've ever heard one. Nothing encapsulates it as well as that song, and it does never it's literally timeless, like the Neo Geo. It's absolutely wonderful. So we're going to go to the next slide. I normally don't make PowerPoints, but I was so excited after I read some of these comments. I thought this was an interesting topic for us just to start. Screw Attack, that's the name of it, yeah. Okay, this is from Bayari. I don't need homebrew or new games. With its more than 100 arcade games, this console will be eternal. I hope they will get the maximum possible games out of the old catalog, AES, and MVS. And I do agree with that. Although I would not be opposed to certain modern games coming, not modern, but certain games that would fit good with the Neo Geo platform. I know Moto Linux did a great video where he talked about Hit the Ice. We're going to talk about that video in a bit. But there certainly are games that would fit on a Neo Geo platform as well. But we want to see them release some of those headliners, right? Some of those big games first. But hopefully it continues and it's super strong. AES is right up my alley. I'm trying to future-proof my collection and escape this constant online. Always updating gaming that we're surrounded by. And you don't own anything. That's the problem with the online too. The digital stuff, they can literally, on the snap of a finger, make all your stuff disappear. Or if your console breaks, gets so old, they can make it where you can't download it again. So basically, all that money was wasted. I mean, I'm not a fan of digital downloads. I like physical media. I collect Atari cartridges. I started with Atari cartridges. Now I did Evercade next. I have a complete set of Evercade carts. I love Evercade. They do these little tiny cartridges. It's a kind of an inexpensive. Here's the Neo Geo ones. Oh, by the way, I want to show you something cool with the Evercade. One thing they do that I like, and I don't know if Neo Geo would do this, but they basically take their sleeves here. Watch. This is the brand new one I got. You see how this one is black? There's the one I just got shipped in the mail. Here's the one I just got that has this week's game in it. But what you can do is you can take this sleeve out and it's dual printed. So how cool would it be if the Neo Geo carts, they had the Japanese on one side and the English on the other. And all you had to do was decide what look you like. Do you like the Japanese look? Because it's the same cart. That's the thing about Neo Geo. When you get into it, it's the same cart. All the information's on all the carts. But I know it's not Evercade stream, but one thing that remember manuals? Remember when you bought a game and you actually got something that you could read with it? All the Evercade carts come with full color manuals. They tell you about all the games. They tell you some tips on the fighters. They tell you all the special moves. But I support physical media. I buy some of the new Atari carts. But now you can see the difference. See, that would be a great idea. I know that they're probably watching because I've seen some hints of that. But you can see this one's purple. These are black. All I had to do was flip around the card that's inside the case. I think that's a great idea. Yes, I'm not a fan of the digital distribution. It's too easy for them to take it away from you. Thanks for the heads up last episode. I kickstarted Metro Siege. The AES Plus games are supposed to be double-sided. That would be wonderful. I'm not going to read that out loud, but we got Video Game Vegas here. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you here. Now you can come to this stream and you don't need to worry about hearing about your favorite pinball company. But, you know, we are going to definitely talk about the Neo Geo because it's awesome. Yes, physical media I'm all about. iArcade was cool, and it was a good system. Problem was, just the company wasn't run well. It wasn't run like a business. And it had a lot of friction. I don't know why, but it never really. They got great games too. They got Double Dragon. They had Dragon's Lair. They had Space Invaders. They had top tier games, but it never really got the love that it deserved. I iArcade did do digital right. As a matter of fact, every game that you bought, you own permanently. So unless my machine breaks, I lose my games. But that was a strength that iArcade did have, 100%. And I still sport my iArcades. I love them. They're a great arcade console. There's lots of good consoles. Like if you want an arcade cabinet that can just play a ton of games, AtGames Legends Ultimate's a good one. You can build your own. So there's lots of ways to get into this hobby. Or you can buy a Neo Geo AES Plus if you want to play Neo Geo games. We're going to take a look at some other options later on in the show. But that was the first topic. Let me put up my ticker here. I'm going to put up the chat so I can see it, because I want to be able to read it. Forgot I could do that. Okay, there we go. The chat is up now, so I can read it as I'm talking. So I thought that was a great Reddit article. Shout out to Gen X Gamer. Okay, next I have a content creator called The Digital Divide Gaming. And this was a video I really liked. It's called Bringing a Legend Back to Life. We're going to watch this video. I can't put chats up during it. I wanted this video on top quality since it's another content creator. So I cannot talk over it, but we will talk about it after the video plays. It's a short video. But we're going to take a, this is The Digital Divide Gaming right here on YouTube. Let's check out this video. Here we go.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Rick with the Digital Divide, and today I want to talk about the Neo Geo, specifically the new AES Plus model that they announced and is coming out later this year. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the Neo Geo, it released back in April 26 of 1990, and when it launched at a price of $650 US, which was a huge amount of money. Adjusted for inflation, that's about $1,680 in today's money, which is insane for a video game console in 1990, but it was advertised as being the only way that you could play arcade-perfect ports. This was expensive for a reason. This had really advanced hardware at the time, the most advanced hardware that money could buy, and it was the only way to get the arcade experience at home. It was so arcade-perfect, in fact, that it came with a memory card that you could transfer between the arcade cabinet and the console. Here's a little bit more on that.
You can start a game in the arcade and finish it at home. Astounding, right? Here, have a look. Here I am, peoples, just hanging out at the factory where they make these Neo Geo multi-video systems. Now, what these things are is that you can play 4 different games on this machine. But that's not all. I got another surprise for you. This is the Neo Geo memory card. This is the Neo Geo arcade system. Now, how this thing works is that you slip your memory card into the memory card slot. Da-da-da-da-da, you start playing your game. Oh, wow, you're doing great, but look, it's 6 o'clock and you're gonna be late for dinner. What are you gonna do? Here's what you're gonna do. Okay, You pull your memory card out of the memory card slot. And now the next time I play a Neo Geo game, I continue from where I left off. Great, huh?
Now, the original Neo Geo cartridges were absolutely massive. This is what it looks like next to like a Genesis cartridge or a Super Nintendo cartridge, for example. They were a lot bigger because they stored a lot more data, and that's why they were so expensive. It was just absolutely massive in comparison, and these cartridges were insanely expensive, and they still are. If you get on eBay, some of these cartridges go for thousands and thousands of dollars. They are obscenely expensive, so collecting for this system is extremely difficult. And this brings us to the topic of today's video. They are bringing the Neo Geo AES back to life. There's going to be a fancy anniversary edition that comes in white, but you can get the standard black. This is no emulation at all. This is running on actual hardware. This is not software emulation. It is 100% compatible with the original controllers in game. So if you have an original Neo Geo, you can grab a controller from your existing one and plug it in this and it'll work, and vice versa. It's really cool. All of the games will work. Now, I made a video on the Neo Geo Mini, specifically the International Edition, a little while ago, and up until this point, this was the cheapest way that you could play all of these games. It's just like a little handheld arcade emulator. This is not using software emulation, as I stated before. This is using real hardware that is re-engineered for today. This releases November 12th of 2026. If you jump on their website, you can grab the anniversary edition for $350. I believe this comes with a copy of Metal Slug, which is a huge bonus, and it comes in that unique exclusive white color. But if you want the standard black, which is the one that I pre-ordered, you can get this for $250. Now, these are available as of this recording on Amazon. You can still pre-order either one of these units. Now, there is also like an Ultimate Edition, which comes with not only the console, but it comes with an extra controller, both kinds, like the arcade style and then the little, the more traditional handpad. It also comes with 10 different games that they're re-releasing. They are re-releasing 10 original Neo Geo games. They're going to come in the exact pace and format that they did back in 1990. They are identical to the original, except you can get them for $89.99 a pop instead of paying hundreds or thousands of dollars to buy these on eBay, which is amazing. So I definitely pre-ordered one of these because it's the only chance I'm going to get to pick up one of these consoles and not spend an arm and a leg. Now, they're also re-releasing a new memory card and a bunch of different accessories and peripherals, which is really cool because these are pricey too. Now, there's a YouTuber I watch. His name is Modern Vintage Gamer. He did an amazing video kind of talking a little bit about this console. Here's a little bit of that.
Now, this unit is said to be a recreation of the original Neo Geo AES, which I have one of these right here, which released in 1990. Now, what makes this announcement so exciting is for a few reasons. The Neo Geo was marketed as the first 24-bit home system, which is a little bit misleading, or a little bit of marketing fluff, I guess, because the CPU was actually running a 16-bit 68000 with a Z80 code processor. But the GPU chipset itself is a 24-bit graphics data bus, so that's where it gets the 24-bit kind of marketing, term around it. But everyone can agree that the Neo Geo is a very powerful system when it released, more so than any other home console at the time.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for me today. Let me know in the comments if you were lucky enough to have a Neo Geo growing up. If not, do you plan to pick this up? Well, it's still available for only $250. I did. If you plan to, let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching.
There you go. Shout out to the Digital Divide. Great video. We got Steps Gaming, Steps Turbo show here. She does a weekly Neo Geo show. Neo Geo Rebels. We're going to be talking about her show in a minute. That was a Digital Divide, bringing a legend back to life. Next thing I want to talk about is we're going to do a little poll. We're keeping it fun. We're mixing it up. Here's our poll. Okay, first I want to show there's been a great amount of content that's been coming out on Neo Geo. And so what I'm going to do is I want to do a quick little poll where everyone in the chat can vote. Okay, I'm going to put up what I feel like there's actually more than 4, but I can only pick 4 videos. But I'll pick different creators each week. And this is a some videos that if you haven't seen them and you're into Neo Geo, you're into home arcade, you're into gaming in general, just some really great videos that I would recommend you check out in case you missed them. I always think it'd be cool. I wish someone would share when there's a great video that I've got to see. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you some videos that I think are must-watch videos. So let me go to my slides. I actually made pictures for these, okay? So you're going to be able to vote. First, I'm going to put up the options. Choice 1, Gamesboro, Gamer Guilt. Stop feeling guilty for playing video games. Gaming at 48. This is a fantastic video that just talks about the personal journey of being a gamer, an older gamer. What is it like? And should you feel guilty for being a gamer? Okay, that's choice 1. Choice number 2, and that's criminal. This video doesn't even have 1,000 views. It's fantastic. This video is a must-watch. If you're not subscribed to Gamesboro, what are you doing? The second video. Look, lo and behold, Potion Sword Run. Hitting hard with almost 3,000 views. He might have 3,000 on this now. I took this picture yesterday. But they answered, Neo Geo AES, will flashcards, unibias, and converters work? Covering that Neo Geo news for the Neo Geo fans, showing the love to the Neo Geo community. Check out Potion Sword Run. Choice number 2. The poll's going to be up in a minute. Choice number 3, the Neo Geo Rebels show. The Neo Geo show that comes on Friday night. I also do a pinball show. My show will run later. I'll probably be after a little bit later than they're running. But watch them before my show, where Potion Sword Run has a show. Lots of good content on Fridays, not Friday nights. But didn't get to catch them live. Watch the replay. Great show. The Neo Retro Rebels. Check them out. Okay. And then choice 4, Johnny Joystick. This was a YouTube video about, I told you that AES Plus would drive prices up. Japan proved me right. So actually the prices of Neo Geo games are going up because of the speculation. I did have a runner-up. Now, if I could pick 5, I would have put this in my list, but I can't pick 5. It only lets me have 4 slots. Another video I really enjoyed, I just watched it earlier today, was the Hit the Ice video on AES from our friend Moto Lennox. So go check out his channel, by the way. Congratulations for getting over 100 subscribers. Congratulations to Gamesboro for hitting 2,000 subscribers. When I first watched him, he was at like 750. So that tells you how strong this Neo Geo content is. That's a big reason why my channel's doing so great. Okay, so I'm going to put the poll up now. Here's the way it works. You just type a number in the chat. Number 1, Gamesboro, Gamer Guilt. Number 2, Potion Sword Run, they answered. That was the Jotego video he did. And I'll do one of these. I'm just going to try it this week and see how it does. Number 3, Steps Turbo. The Jotego, the Neo, it's not Neo Geo Rebels. What was it? I'm not saying it right. I don't want to mess it up. Let me go back and look. Can I move that? It's covering it up. Neo Retro Rebels? Is that it? The Neo Retro Rebels show? Hold on. I think she's in the chat. The Neo Retro Rebels. Sorry, the Neo Retro Rebels. I want to make sure I'm saying the right name. She covers Neo Geo stuff. So Neo Retro Rebels. Absolutely. Vote now. Vote now for your favorite content creators. The poll is live, so you should be able to vote. Everyone just drop your number. You can vote for yourself. I will not hold it against you. I would probably vote for myself if I was in a poll. I'm going to let this run for a little bit. And let me take that down. You're watching the Retro Legends Arcade. And we're just putting in some votes for different videos that we're doing the week. If you missed any of these videos, these were all must watch. Gamer Guilt, Gamesboro, They Answered, Potion Sword Run. These were within the past week or so. This is the Jotego, the Neo Retro Rebels show. I thought that was great. But also watch the current show. Don't forget, too, these live shows, you can always, they're great to watch on replay. You know, so if you're catching it on replay, I want to say thanks for watching. We got Joystick Johnny, who had a video he did. If you're not familiar with his channel, it's pretty neat. He talks, he's like a cartoon. And he talks as like a cartoon person. But he covers Neo Geo topics. He has a good channel. Does some live gaming as well. And then Hit the Ice, which is a video about the Hit the Ice arcade game. It was a really cool video from our friend Moto Linux. He's a new content creator, but he's dropping some really good videos. He did this thing in this video where he had me talking. I was like a cartoon. I don't know how he did it. It was incredible. But the production quality is fantastic. So, you know, if you're not familiar with these content creators, please subscribe. If you're not subscribed to Papa Brad's Gaming, please at least subscribe to my main channel. My goal for 2026 is to get to 50K subscribers. And I'm on my way to doing it. I could totally do that. So I'll just keep on rocking and rolling. Yeah. Absolutely. So thank you to all the great people in this community that are dropping awesome Neo Geo content. There's a lot of good stuff going on. A lot of good things to celebrate. And one more time, let me throw up these slides one more time. These some slides of the Neo Geo. That's what the games are going to look like. They're going to come in these gigantic boxes. You talk about a premium presentation of a product. Then you've got some more pics of the cards. Here's the console, the mock-up. This is from a store in Japan. Some more, look at the size of the joystick. That's what I'm talking about. Like, this is an arcade system. Basically, you know, that's one of the things I really liked. He actually had me talking about how this is like having arcade machines sitting in your house. Each time you get a cartridge, it's like you're getting an actual arcade game. And I talked about how much would it cost to stack up real arcade machines. You know, each one of these carts is another arcade machine, basically, that you could play anytime you want. If you love arcade games, you should be all about this, you know. And then I do have links to Amazon. This is the basic package with nothing, $249.99. I feel like this comes in the black. If you really like the black and gold, then they have a anniversary edition, it's $349. It comes in white. It comes with a white metal slug cartridge and a memory card, and a white wireless joystick. I believe this one was wired, but you can make the wireless one wired. You can plug in the wire, and you can run it wireless or wired. So I'm sure this is going to have very good latency and low impact, low lag, because it's a cartridge system. The whole thing is, if you watch the brand new video that was just out, you could see they're taking it very seriously, and they're really listening to the experts to create something special. And I cannot wait for November. Okay, we can. Wow, got a three-way tie going. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to leave the poll up for a little bit. We'll leave that up for a while. This is the poll for the best Neo Geo or video or gaming video for this week from content creators that I watch all the time. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, we're going to talk about our Neo Geo Beat 'em Up series. Of course, you're on the Retro Legends arcade show. Let me remove this, get a little more, every little bit of memory I can get to make my videos run smoother. We've been talking about Neo Geo, and we've been competing in the Beat 'em Up series. And these were voted on by my viewers. And we decided to play some Beat 'em Up games. And the big game we're playing next, where'd I put those pictures? Oh, they're up here. I gotta scroll up. The games we're going to play next will be Robo Army. I wanted to show these carts. This is also showing what the original carts look like. There's the box for Robo Army, 45 megs, 1 or 2 player arcade game, and Ghost Pilots. We've been doing a beat 'em up series. Robo Army came in second. This was the official poll where we voted. We played Sengoku 3. Then we and then move this over here. Then we played Mutation Nation, and then we played Robo Army. And then we got Burning Fight will be the last one. Then we'll move on to a different category, maybe fighting games next. So we might switch to some fighting games. But this is the beat 'em ups. We picked 4 of the most popular ones. Every week we've been competing on them online. Now this one, it does not continue the score. You get 3 credits. So just basically play as far as you can get on a single credit. And then 1 quarter only though. And let's talk a little bit about Robo Army. It was a cult favorite featuring giant robots punching everything in sight. Why fans remember Robo Army? Unique robot theme. Has weapon pickups, destructible enemies, pure arcade chaos. Weakness would be slower gameplay than Sengoku 3. Okay, excellent. More complete is here, said Papa Brad. Maybe a few weeks from now, I hope to make some videos. I need to make custom controllers to play most games due to some resting tremors. Next one will start as a Neo Geo controller. Awesome, awesome. Well, our leaderboards are open and free to everyone is welcome to play. So anyone that wants to play, you're welcome to play on our leaderboards, completely free. Let's show the cards one more time. And then I want to show the game in action. So let me make that happen. Okay, this is Neo Geo Early Classics. Ghost Pilots and Robo Army. High score challenge. Let's check it out. Now I'll be able to talk over this video. I'll be right here on the side of the video. So let's watch it. Hey everybody, it's Papa Brad and welcome back to the Retro Legends Arcade Show. Take this down.
We celebrate the games that made arcades legendary and put your skills to the test with our weekly high score leaderboards. This week we're heading to the legendary Neo Geo MVS arcade system from SNK to spotlight taking to the skies with the vertically scrolling shooter Ghost Pilots. Then we're punching robots into scrap metal in the side-scrolling beat-em-up Robo Army. So grab those joysticks because it's time for a little arcade history. Released in 1991, Ghost Pilots was one of the earliest games available for SNK's revolutionary Neo Geo MVS arcade hardware. Ghost Pilots was developed and published by SNK. The system would eventually become famous for fighting games like Fatal Fury, Samurai Showdown, and the King of Fighters. SNK initially wanted the Neo Geo to offer a wide variety of games. Ghost Pilots represented SNK's attempt to compete with the popular military shooters of the era, drawing 1942 and Twin Cobra. In Ghost Pilots, players assumed the roles of 2 ace pilots battling the forces of the evil nation of Zeppelin through 8 stages of aerial combat. Placed through oceans, deserts, forests, and heavily fortified enemy bases. One of the things that made Ghost Pilots stand out in arcades was its impressive presentation. The Neo Geo hardware allowed for large sprites, detailed explosions, and booming sound effects that surpassed many competing shooters at the time. Although it never achieved the same fame as some of SNK's fighting games, shoot 'em up fans, and remains an important piece of Neo Geo history. I'm going to give some gameplay tips for Retro Legends competitors. Tip number 1, upgrade wisely. You'll encounter different weapons pickups. Red shots spread outward,
Blue shots fire powerful straight attacks. Green lasers pierce enemies. And accuracy. Tip 2, bombs are meant to be used. Don't save bombs for later. Many players finish levels with unused bombs while losing all their lives they have saved. If you're trapped, drop the bomb and stay alive. Tip number 3, learn enemy spawn patterns. Ghost Pilots is mainly about memorization. Enemy planes often enter from the exact same locations on every run. Once you learn these patterns, you're going to survive longer and score much higher. And this is Ghost Pilots. Is a super fun shmup. Reminds me a lot of the Toplin shmups. Reminds me of games like 1941. Those kind of classic plane shmup fighters. And this was an early Neo Geo game. Next up is one of the Neo Geo's earliest beat-em-ups, Robo Army. Released later in 1991, Robo Army showcased another side of SNK's creative ambitions. Okay, 3 credits. Robo Army. SNK, 1991. Set in the futuristic city of Old Detroit, players control cybernetic heroes, Maxima and Rocky, who batter through hordes of robotic enemies after an evil scientist unleashes an army of machines to conquer the city. Brains. To clone ourselves. Mechanical Force Zone. Long before giant cinematic beat-em-ups became common, Robo Army combined the brawler gameplay popularized by games like Final Fight with outrageous science fiction themes and mechanical enemies. The one feature that made Robo Army unique was its emphasis on using enemy parts as weapons. Rip off robotic arms, swing giant metal beams, throw car doors. Pretty much anything not bolted down could become a tool for destruction in this game. The game also featured huge boss battles and surprisingly detailed character animations for an early Neo Geo release. While Robo Army often gets overshadowed by later Neo Geo beat-em-ups like Burning Fight and Mutation Nation, many fans appreciate its over-the-top action and gritty cyberpunk atmosphere. Here's some gameplay tips for high scores. Tip number 1, use weapons constantly. Many enemies drop useful parts. Don't ignore them. Weapons deal significant damage and can help you to preserve your health. Tip number 2, master the grab attack. Throws are extremely effective. Once you understand the enemy positioning, grabbing opponents becomes one of the safer ways to clear crowds. Tip 3, control the crowd. Don't stand in the middle of enemies. Move to one side of the screen and funnel opponents towards you. Beat-em-ups reward positioning just as much as aggression. Tip number 4, know when to jump. Jump attacks can help escape many dangerous situations. If you're getting surrounded, a well-timed jump kick may save your run. Ghost Pilots and Robo Army represent something special about the early Neo Geo era. Before SNK became synonymous with fighting games, the company experimented with every genre available. Shooters, beat-em-ups, sports games, action titles. The Neo Geo launched with the promise of being a true arcade experience at home. These two games helped to establish their identity. They might not have been the most famous titles on the system, but they remain fantastic examples of SNK's creativity during the early days of one of gaming's most beloved arcade platforms, the Neo Geo. So this week on the Retro Legends show, you'll be battling leaderboard supremacy in the skies of Ghost Pilots and the robot-infested streets of Robo Army. Can you survive the enemy air forces? Can you punch your way through an army of machines? There's only one way to find out. Drop your scores on the iScored leaderboards. Join the competition. And remember, for free, for fun, for the community, no gatekeeping, come join the iScored leaderboards of the Retro Legends Arcade. Right. Provoke the wrath of Jeed. My army destroy forces against us. Area 2, highway. Neo Geo, let's go. Awesome. Drop your scores in the iScored leaderboards. Leave tips in the comments. Join the competition. I'm Papa Brad, and I'll see you next time. All right. So that was Robot Army on the iScored leaderboards this week. Let me remove that from the studio real quick. Okay, I think I figured out how I can get it to where they run smooth. Just have to take my video frame off. The next thing we're going to take a look at, let's take a look at our leaderboards right now. Hope I need to open them up. I'm trying to close everything so everything runs as fast as it can. Okay, 1 second. Let's see. Let's see. Screen sharing. iScored. There it is. Share. Okay, and let's see if anyone's dropped any scores yet. We're just starting a new week. We're going to go over the scores for last week. Let's see, we have The Walking Dead. We got 2 scores in. These are pinball. We have Robo Army. So the leaderboards are open for everyone to play. Robo Army, Ghost Pilots, and Berzerk. Lots of people have already dropped scores in our 3 pinball machines. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Strike Deluxe, and Tropical. Good job, players. We've got some scores in VR, so the leaderboards are live. All you got to do is go into the description of this video, click on the link. It'll take you directly to the games. If you're watching this show with your phone, you can also do the QR code. It takes you directly to the iScored link. Poll's still up. We got a 4-way tie between our 4 content creators for the week. Gamesboro. These are videos you must watch. These are my must-watch videos for the week. If I had to pick 4 videos that I had to watch, would be Gamesboro, Gamer Guilt, Great video. They answered from Potion Sword Run. The Neo Retro Rebels. Show on Jotego. And I Told You So from Joystick Johnny. By prices on the Neo Geo games. Only could do 4 spots, but also a shout out to Moto Lennox with Hit the Ice on AES Plus. Pretty cool video. Leaderboards are active now. So play some arcade games, you know, if you got an arcade. I know we got a 4-way tie. A 4-way tie with all these great content creators. It shows you. We have an excellent community brewing of new Neo Geo content creators. So give these 5 channels a chance. Also, give a shout out to the Digital Divide Gaming. The Digital Divide is another channel that did some cool Neo Geo stuff. So I'm going to take this down for a minute. We'll move to our next topic. I'm just going to hide it for a minute. But those are your numbers. So the way you vote is you just type in the number of who you want. Just type in the number of who you want. 1 for Gainsborough, 2 for Potion Sword Run, 3 for Steps Turbo, 4 for Johnny Joystick. Okay. So I'm going to hide that for a minute. Okay, and we're going to go on to our next topic. Let me put this up too. Sometimes I do this. This is my cheat sheet I make. I have a little ticker here that I can use. Let's see if we did all this. Let's see. News and open topic from Gen X Gamer. The Reddit post. We talked about the vinyl record effect. We watched a video from Digital Divide. The best Neo Geo AES videos this week. We talked about our Beat 'em Up series continue with Robo Army 4. Oh my goodness. Ghost Pilots. Next topic. Yes, I have fallen off the deep end. And I have just, unpopular opinion. It's our next topic. Actually, wait a minute. Before I go to unpopular opinion, let me read off the iScored players for the week. So we had a lot of people that played last past week. So let me just go over the leaderboards real quick. Got to go back. These scroll, we have all kinds of classic games in here. It's completely free to play and enter a score. You can click on any link to get to the leaderboards. But last week we played Double Dragon, the Neo Geo game. Crane live on YouTube, taking the win. Him and Lord Donkey Balls were going back and forth all week. They kept going back and forth, trading blows in Double Dragon. It's actually a fighting game on the Neo Geo. We had Saroo, we had me and T. McCloskey. Competition was stiff on Prehistoric Isle. T. McCloskey, Potion Sword Run. By the way, he did a video where he live streamed it. Very cool. We had me, Lord Donkey Balls. Saroo, Rich Mix throwing his hat in the ring. We had Leo DS with a fantastic score. That is a great score for a single quarter run. And Crane live on YouTube, clobbering Prehistoric Isle 2 with the top score. Well done. Then we had our beat 'em up game of the week, which was Mutation Nation. Papa Brad in last place on the caboose. Potion Sword Run, Crane live on YouTube. Moto Lennox putting in a respectable 74,600. By the way, Moto Lennox, there was something that you put in one of my videos, and it was held for some reasons, but I did go ahead and verify it. It was about that you played the game, but I did finally see it. YouTube was holding it for some reason. But Rich Mix, Leo DS, Saroo, and for the win, Mutation Nation champion, Lord Donkey Balls. That's fun to say. We had World Cup Soccer, a fantastic pinball game. Bliss 2121. I mean, the crazy thing is the lowest score is 1 billion. If you've played this game, that means you probably made it through the World Cup. That's a crazy good pinball game. But these are really great scores. All these scores are fantastic. Bliss 2121, me, Saroo, Rich Mix. The #1 score, we played Battle EM Plus, Bliss 2121, Team McCloskey, Craig Live on YouTube, me, Sacro, Dave LB, Clobber, and Battle EM Plus. We had Darius, Hada Monk, Wingo, Bless 2121, Team McCloskey, Papa Brad, Sacro, and Dave LB for the win. Dave LB almost sweeping the pinball Flipper Friends. He did good this week. Hada Monk, Team McCloskey, Blitz 2121, Wingo, Papa Brad's Gaming, Dave LB, and Sacro taking that #1 spot in Amazonia. I couldn't get my groove on with this game. I did play it all week. It was fun. So those were all the games. The new games are right up here. So as you enter your score, they'll appear on here as we play. Now we have some people that already put in, a lot of people already put in their scores for pinball. There's Herb Wars. We got Wingo. Good. I want to make sure everyone gets a little shout out. Those are our online leaderboards, which are live right now. We'll remove that right now. We're going to move to our next topic. Unpopular opinion. Papa Brad has lost it. I just bought a CRT for Retrogaming. That's right, one of those big, old, heavy TVs that most people are trying to get rid of. And I bought a nice small one. A small one because it's easy to keep by my desk. I can put it on a table, and the retro games are going to look crisp and sharp and fantastic. And Crane Live says he got that score with a Bobo. Sacro is a very good pinball player. He is a fantastic pinball player and an arcade gamer as well. I'll have to check to see if we still got the 4-way tie. Please vote. Yeah, there's a Darius Pinball, an AtGames Pinball. I'm not reading that out loud, but he'll see it on the replay. So, very exciting. Players exchanging blows, going back and forth. And Papa Brad's losing it, getting himself a CRT television for playing retro games. It's a Sanyo 13-inch CRT TV. It's got the Retrogaming AV inputs. I'm excited because this is something that I think I'm going to love. I can just tell I'm going to love this, especially with our next topic. And our next topic is going to be the game changer for the Sega Saturn. There's a special cartridge you can get called a Saroo card. Link is in the description of this video. This will basically, as a mod you can do with an old Sega Saturn. Now the Sega Saturn was something, I had never played any Sega Saturn games. I had a PS1 and, you know, I really never really got into the Saturn. By the way, my Octopus joystick, it connected right up to it. If you're not familiar with Octopus, this is the most premium joystick you can get. It's fantastic. It works with Neo Geo. It works with Saturn. It's got a custom Brooks encoder board in it. It's ridiculously high-end. Way more than I would ever need to play any game. But I was surprised because my Octopus joystick worked with the Saturn. I had no idea it was Saturn compatible. And it literally, I just put a cable in and it worked. So that was pretty neat to discover. But we're going to watch a little bit of content about the Sega Saturn. We'll start with my video. Now what I've been doing too is for members, you'll get to see the video first before the show. Then after the show, I'll drop the video either while the show is going on or slightly after. But members will get to see the videos earlier if you're a member of Papa Brad's Gaming. It's 99 cents a month. It's, you know, just a small thing you can do if you want to help support the channel. It's not required, but if you want to, I do appreciate it. Okay, this is called This Sega Saturn Flash Card is Awesome. Let's see. Play it. This is the Saroo card. It has an SD card up at the top that comes with it. You're going to take this bad boy. Let me show you your modding. And you're going to plug it into this slot right here. You're going to turn on your power. You too can be a modder. And your Saturn's going to boot up. This one happens to be Japanese. I don't know how to read any of this, but I do know how to get to the next part. I'm going to go right there. There you go, just like that. You're in the Saroo menu. Let's take a look at what we can do in here. You can still play your discs. This has the, press the button here, select game. You got all these games. All this good stuff. Literally plug the cartridge in. Let's check out some games. Let's check out Berzerk first. Whoa. One out. Back to the menu, I just hit reset. Just gonna pick another random game and load it. This one, I believe it's called Cyberbots. All running from the cartridge. No disc needed. Super fast load times. Now's the time to get into Saturn for sure. Got the killer app. Get it while you can. So I guess I'll be this one here. Okay. We talk about some of the benefits of modding your Sega Saturn with the Saroo card. You always wanted to get more out of a Saturn without opening the console or breaking out the soldering iron. The Saroo card might be exactly what you're looking for. Let's take a look at some of the biggest benefits. There we go. Benefit 1, no console modding required. One of the biggest advantages of the Saroo card is chips are permanently altering your hardware. The Saroo simply plugs into the Saturn's cartridge slot. No soldering, no disassembling your console, no worry about damaging the original hardware. For collectors who want to preserve their Saturn in its original condition, the Saroo card is a huge win. Benefit number 2, you get region-free gaming. Back in the 1990s, Sega Saturn owners were limited by regional lockout. Japanese games only worked on Japanese systems. European games only worked on PAL systems. American gamers were stuck with the North American library. Saroo changes all of that. Want to experience the Japanese exclusives? Want to revisit the European releases you missed? Simply insert the cartridge. You can enjoy games from USA, Japan, or Europe. No swap tricks, no action replay setup headaches. Just put in the disc and play. Benefit number 3, of course, backup support. For many Saturn enthusiasts, preserving the original game disc has become increasingly important. Some Saturn games are now extremely expensive and difficult to replace. The Saroo allows you to play backup copies of your games, reducing wear and tear on your original collection. It means your prized Saturn disc can stay safely on the shelf while you continue enjoying the games that you love. For preservation-minded collectors, this is one of Saroo's strongest features. Benefit 4, it's surprisingly easy to use. Sometimes retro gaming solutions can feel overly complicated. The Saroo aims for convenience. Here's how it works. Insert the Saroo cartridge. Power on your Sega Saturn. The Sega startup screen appears. Insert your game disc. Game launches automatically. No complicated menus, no special boot procedures, no learning curve. Good battleship. What? Look at that! Whee! this guy go. Whoa! Well, so you pick your progression. That is cool. It's Darius 2. Look at that water. That is wicked. See, games like this that I'm going to discover are going to be the reason why getting this Saturn, this modded Saturn, is going to be really fun. There's all kind of games in here that I've never played before that are cool. Let's reset. Let's see something else. Benefit 5. Built-in memory card. If you've owned a Sega Saturn for any length of time, you know it's a pain running out of save space. Internal memory of the Saturn is limited, and losing saves due to a dead battery wasn't uncommon. Saroo includes memory card functionality, allowing you to save your game progress more conveniently. For RPG fans spending dozens of hours on titles like Panzer Dragoon Saga, Shining Force 3, and Dragon Force, having a reliable save option is incredibly valuable.
Ready, go!
Benefit number 6, the Saturn has a massive library. It's included on the card. One of the most eye-catching aspects of this version of the Saroo card is it comes with 520 games pre-installed. Gamers who are just discovering the Saturn system's library, it's a nice starting point. Instead of hunting down expensive discs one at a time, you only gain access to hundreds of experiences that showcase why the Saturn has become such a beloved cult classic. Fighting games, shoot-em-ups, RPGs, arcade ports, hidden gems. There's a lot to explore on this card. Benefit 7, a fantastic way to experience Saturn history. Sega Saturn might not have won the console wars, but many retro fans believe it delivered some of the best arcade experiences of its generation. The Saroo makes exploring that history easier than ever. Lowers the barrier to entry, makes imports accessible, it preserves aging discs. It gives longtime fans a convenient way to enjoy the system they've loved for decades, or it gives new fans a way to check out the library the Saturn has to offer. The load times are so fast. The Saroo isn't for everyone. Keep in mind, if you're a strict purist who only wants to use original discs exactly as they were released, you would prefer sticking with the stock hardware. But for many retro gamers, the benefits are hard to ignore. Region-free gaming, backup support, no soldering requiring memory card functionality, easy setup, hundreds of games ready to play. Sega Saturn remains one of gaming's greatest hidden treasures, and devices like the Saroo help keep the incredible console alive for a new generation of players. Whether you're discovering the Saturn for the first time or revisiting old favorites, the Saroo offers convenience, preservation, and accessibility in one simple cartridge. If you've used a Saroo card, let everyone know your experiences down in the comments below. To change the way you played your Saturn. What are your favorite Saturn games of all time? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Papa Brad's Gaming, ring that notification bell so you never miss out on another retro gaming adventure. Till next time, keep gaming, keep collecting, and keep those retro memories alive.
Geo arcade system.
There is the Saroo cart. Oh, what am I at? There I am. Okay. So there was my video on the Saroo cart, but the big question is, how does it handle SNK and Neo Geo games? Because we love SNK and Neo Geo. Well, let's take a look. Here's a video where we're going to find out how does it work with Yeah, this is the
Arcade
stage.
had some of the best-looking spread-based games of its time. Franchises like Metal Slug and Samurai Showdown looked better than anything you could get at home at the time. The Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis paled in comparison to what the Neo Geo was capable of. So today's question, was the Sega Saturn actually capable of bringing home near-perfect arcade versions of SNK games? Well, let's find out. A few years before the Sega Saturn came out, I fell in love with a little game called Samurai Showdown. They had one at my local bowling alley just a few blocks away from my house. Let me see, they had Marvel vs. Capcom, Miss Pac-Man, Super Off-Road, I think is what it was called, some pinball game, and a Neo Geo system that had 2 games in it. Bust-A-Move, and it had Samurai Showdown.
Samurai Showdown.
Just in case you weren't around in those days, the Neo Geo arcade machine was an amazing concept. Arcade operators loved them because it was a cartridge-based system. Some machines were capable of storing up to 4 games. I mean, it was incredible. And whenever I would find one at a pizza place or a mall, I knew I was in for a good time. The Neo Geo MVS arcade system was definitely something special. You could tell that SNK put a lot of love into these games, and they were beautiful. Large, colorful sprites, fluid animations, and a great sound chip. Not only was there an arcade version, which is how everybody discovered it, but there was also a home version called the Neo Geo AES. Now, this was pretty expensive. It came in at around $650, so most people probably didn't buy it back then. It was considered the Rolls-Royce of gaming systems at the time. I mean, Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis could not even touch it. I have the Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro, which is not like the originals, but you know what? It has HDMI out and it comes with 20 games, so it's not bad. Plus, you can hack it to add more games to it. While other consoles like the Mega Drive and Super Nintendo tried to port Neo Geo titles, but unfortunately the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis were just a bit underpowered compared to the Neo Geo. These 16-bit consoles struggled with the massive sprites, smooth animation, and intense action that made Neo Geo games pretty freaking cool. So what are some awesome Neo Geo games that came out on Sega Saturn? Of course, I'm going to start off with Metal Slug. As you know from my previous videos, I bought this game at the mall with my brother, like 20 years ago, maybe even more. This game is one of the greatest run-and-gun games ever made. For me, run-and-gun games became popular with Contra. My brother and I used to play Contra all the time. So Metal Slug takes that formula and takes it on a whole other level. Now, Metal Slug is known for its incredibly detailed pixel art, smooth animation, and challenging gameplay. The Saturn port is remarkably faithful to the arcade version. All the explosions, vehicle transformations, and prisoner rescues are all here. And the Saturn's controller is perfect for the precise jumping and shooting required to survive Metal Slug's relentless enemy onslaughts. What I love about this port is that it preserves all the little details and humor that makes Metal Slug special. I like how the prisoners give you power-ups, and the way your character gets fat after grabbing too much food, and those satisfying explosions when you take down a boss. By the way, the bosses look incredible in this game. If you're a Saturn owner and you haven't tried this game yet, I suggest you get it. Okay, up next by SNK, we have their flagship King of Fighters series. On the Saturn, you've got King of Fighters 95, 96, and 97. I was never a
Yeah, one thing I was never aware of is that the Saturn is actually a very capable 2D machine. The 2D with the RAM card, the Saroo has the RAM card in it that you would need to put in it if you had a stock Saturn. It also does where you can play from any region. But the 2D games are fantastic on the Saturn. I always thought of it for the 3D games like Daytona and Virtual Fighter 2, but the 2D games are actually very strong on the Saturn. In my opinion, in 2026, they have a new update to the Saroo card too, which fixes almost like 99% of the games now are fixed, where it's running very smooth. So, and we're going to talk about where you can get those updates you're going to want to make to the cartridge to get it on the newest firmware, which is going to run these games fantastic. They had figured out the code. Apparently, there was a little bit of a mismatch, and now it's perfect. They got it running perfectly. which is a huge thing for Saturn because it's finally ready for prime time. They finally got it in the final end stage of the drive emulation. This uses an FPGA emulation with the original console. But let's continue watching. These are the SNK games that came to the Sega Saturn. It's an incredible video, very well done. I'm not so sure if you get, do you actually get fatter when you eat in Metal Slug? I don't remember that happening, but he has a lot of good information though. Let's keep watching. This is an awesome video.
Huge King of Fighters fan myself, so I never really dived into these games too much. I was more of a Samurai Showdown guy, but we'll get into that later. Needless to say, the Saturn received excellent ports of these King of Fighters games. I think one thing that's cool about these games is that they combine characters from Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, and a few other SNK properties. At the time when King of Fighters came out on Saturn, everyone was blown away with how close they stayed to the arcade originals. I mean, the sprites are nearly identical, the animation is fluid, and all the frames of animation are preserved. I mean, of course, since it's a disc-based machine, there's some minor loading times between matches, but that's a
Saroo cart, you don't even have the loading times. Man, it's like zoom, bam, and we're off to the races. Let's play this game, bam. I love it, man. It is fantastic. I would have never thought the Saturn was so good at playing 2D games because I'd never even really, I only had the PS1 during this time period, and I'd never even played the Saturn. But Saturn had some pretty amazing games, and I'm going to enjoy going through the library and checking out the different games. So far, I've discovered some I've never heard of. One of them was Guardian Heroes. That's pretty fun. A lot of the 3D fighters, of course, it has original Dead or Alive. Yeah, Steps Turbo Show. Who would have thunk it? The Saturn was amazing at 2D arcade games. Now, not as good as the Neo Geo AES Plus is going to be. Not in that category, but for a home console, it was a step above the rest of the consoles running 2D. Fighting games, you got some 2D and some 3D games for the win. And the Saturns are cheap. You can pick them up. They're all, people practically give the Saturns away. And you get this cartridge, you can pretty much play, if you wanted to. Backups. Now remember, these are just backups for your legitimate CD copies. You could literally play almost the entire library. And the games are great. They're fun, man. I'm having a blast with the Saturn. It's really the easiest mod ever. Just literally plug the cartridge in. Now, I would update it to the latest firmware. And we're going to talk about another Saturn channel. These guys are called the SegaGuys. They're going to give you the straight skinny on how to get this thing updated to the newest firmware. It took me about 5 or 10 minutes. Once you do that, you get basically close to 100% compatibility with the games. They had figured out what was making it... it still ran like 95% of the games perfectly, but it runs the games, because it's so fast, because it's reading from RAM, it can run the games faster. So the problem isn't with it not running the games, it's with running the games too well. So they finally got that figured where the timing now is perfect. That makes a big difference. So... yeah, see, Saturn knew, Steps knew about it. Steps Turbo Show, she had a Saturn back in the day, so she knew about it. Brady Latorre said he had a good time with the King of Fighters 94 and 95. Old School Gamer 86, glad you're enjoying Saturn. I love Saturn myself. I never had experienced a Saturn. This is my first experience ever playing the console. I know, it's crazy. I even bought a retro TV, and I want a small one I can put on a desk, because I want to sit close to it, and it's just going to look great. I can tell I'm going to be happy with it. I'm happy with it right now. So let's keep watching this wonderful video. Back to the action. I'm going to take myself off because the videos don't stutter when I do that. Oh, wait a minute.
Small price to pay for having the arcade experience at home without spending a fortune on an AES. The next series of games are Samurai Showdown. So you can actually get Samurai Showdown 3 and 4 for the Sega Saturn. I absolutely love this series. I love that it was actually the first one-on-one fighting game I ever played where you could use weapons. And I just really enjoyed Samurai Showdown. I thought the animations were really special. I like how blood would shoot out or you could chop somebody in half. You could really tell that the creators over at SNK really put a lot of heart and effort into the Samurai Showdown series. With that being said, the Saturn versions of Samurai Showdown 3 and 4 are particularly impressive. They capture that distinct Japanese aesthetic of the originals, with cherry blossoms floating across the screen, detailed dojos, and atmospheric music. I just can't say enough how well these games are done. They actually were able to keep the rage gauge mechanics and precise hit detection that made Samurai Showdown such a technical fighter. One well-timed strike could turn the tide of battle, making every match tense and exciting. Alright, I'm not trying to make this video super long, so let's just talk about Real Bout Fatal Fury Special here. It offered a unique fighting experience. The Saturn port is definitely a technical marvel. It maintains a multi-plane fighting system. Characters can jump between the foreground and background, and all the stage interactions are preserved, and the special move effects look gorgeous on Saturn hardware. I always really loved the zooming effect that this game had based on the distance between the fighters. So how did the Saturn pull off these amazing ports, Well, obviously it comes down to the system's architecture. While the PlayStation excelled at 3D, the Saturn was built with 2D gaming in mind. Its dual Hitachi processors and dedicated VDP chips were perfect for handling the large sprites and multiple scrolling backgrounds found in Neo Geo games. The Saturn also packed 2 megs of internal RAM, which was crucial for loading those detailed character sprites. And you can actually upgrade that with a 4 meg card. But unlike earlier 16-bit consoles, the Saturn could display hundreds of colors simultaneously, preserving the colorful and vibrant look of Neo Geo games. Saturn developers also became increasingly skilled at optimization as the console aged. Later Neo Geo ports took better advantage of the hardware, resulting in even closer arcade translations. So for all you collectors out there, these Neo Geo ports are highly sought after. Most of these games were released exclusively in Japan, making them relatively rare in Western collections. So if you're looking to experience these games today, you have a few options. Option number 1, get a Neo Geo AES home system, but you can also get a consoleized version of the Neo Geo MVS system pretty cheap on AliExpress. Another option is you can shell out, I don't know how much this is going for these days. I think I bought it for like $100 like 4 years ago or something, but you could probably pick this up on Amazon, and it comes with 20 games built in already. And you can also mod it so that you can play any game you want from the Neo Geo library. Or you can get yourself a Saroo cart and put the bin and queue files on there for research purposes only, of course. Okay, so to wrap things up, the Sega Saturn might not have as many games as the PlayStation does here in the US. But for 2D arcade enthusiasts, especially Neo Geo fans like me, it offers something special. These ports represent some of the best ways to experience SNK's classics without breaking the bank on an actual Neo Geo system. The Saturn's library is filled with hidden gems like these, showing that the losing console can actually still be a winner for certain types of games.
A loser
So what are
is
some of your
a
favorite Neo
winner.
Geo games? Did you ever own a Neo?
Japan by far has the best Saturn library. Definitely go check out this guy's channel. He's doing some great content. Polygon Legends. Old School Gamer says Japan by far has the best Saturn library. Yes. Once again, this is for research purposes. You plug that mug in, just like you saw how hard the mod was to do. You saw it in the video. It was literally, if you can follow the video that I showed you, that's basically all you got to do. If you want to update to the newest firmware, I'm gonna set you straight and tell you who to go see. There's another channel it's called the SegaGuys. Now these guys are hardcore into Saturn. I mean, I've been binging their entire YouTube channel, watching all the videos that they have about the games, and that's where I'm discovering there's a ton of great games that I never had really played from back in the day that were on the Saturn, especially in the shmup category and in the fighter category. 2026, now is the time to get in. Now that the Saroo card has this new firmware where it's basically 100% timed perfectly to the Saturn, now is the time to get in. In my opinion. I mean, I got the CRT coming. I'm excited and I'm loving it, man. Plug that mug in, You'll be researching your blank off. Yes, you will be, for sure. And Sega Saturns are everywhere. I mean, like, you're not going to have a problem finding a Sega Saturn. I know I didn't have any problem. Very easy to do and very fun. Very fun. Probably one of my favorite retro gaming products I've came across in quite a long time. Now, this was before the update. Now, the SegaGuys, they have the video that will show you how to update your Saroo card. It took me under 10 minutes. It's very easy. It's just basically dragging and dropping some files onto the cart, onto a memory card. There's nothing to it. It's very easy, but I would recommend going to the SegaGuys. We're going to watch a little bit of a video because I know we talk a lot about the Neo Geo, and I want to show. Joystick Johnny is here. Saturn is the only 5th generation console I really like. Virtual On is incredible. Yep. Let's watch a little bit of this video. I'm using this with permission from the SegaGuys. And these are the guys that I also use to get my Saroo card up to the newest version. Oh, wait a minute. Before I play this, I better put this up. Hold on one second. Don't start this. Let me put this to the side for a minute. Okay, the SegaGuys. I'm going to pause that just for a second. Let's go ahead and continue our poll while Joystick Johnny's here. Maybe you can break the poll. We have a poll. Talked about all the great content creators in our new Neo Geo community. I pointed out for number 1 for this week, these are channels I recommend, the best Neo Geo or gaming video you watch this week. These were my 5 videos. Number 1, Gamer Guilt from Gamesboro. Number 2, Potion Sword Run. Neo Geo AES flashcards. Unibios and converters, will they work? Number 3, Steps Turbo with the Neo Retro Rebels, Friday nights. The Jotego episode. And number 4, right here in the chat, Joystick Johnny. We got a 4-way tie. You can vote. Breaking the tie, maybe. The best Neo Geo videos of the week. I told you so. This video said, let me move the widget because I can't read with the widget in my way. Can move it down there for a minute. I told you the Neo Geo AES Plus would drive prices up. Japan proved me right. So right now, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Make sure you vote. And then I'm going to close this out. Right now, we got a 4-way tie. 4 fantastic creators in the community making fantastic content. Let's see. Let's see, Old School Gamers says Play On responded to me, finally been quiet forever, but looks like they still got a plan for the U.S. states affected. Okay. Okay. So everyone make sure you vote. And this is just for fun, but I would recommend watching all these videos. These were all great videos. Be sure to check out my video, Saturn Game Changer, on the Saroo cart. This is, I have a link to this in the chat. This is the cart that I showed in my video. This is the exact one. It comes with everything you saw in the video. It is also compatible with the Octopus joystick. Literally, you just plug the cord in and it works. Just like it's going to work with the Neo Geo. It's a very high-end product. Let's watch a little bit. Now I'm going to actually add the SegaGuys to the channel just for a minute. Add them to the stage.
What's up, Sega fans and SNK fans? It's Dan, the Mega Driver of the SegaGuys here with another video. Regular viewers lately would have noticed that James the Segaholic and I have been thoroughly enjoying our Saroos in our Sega Saturns, to the point where they've become our daily driver in our consoles, leaving our Fenrir-powered systems a little bit in the cold. As anyone who has listened to the podcast on the Saroo will know, one of my biggest surprises was how certain SNK games performed when used on the Saroo, with Metal Slug being the first to really wow me. With that in mind, in this video I'll be looking at a handful of SNK games on the Sega Saturn and seeing how they perform across Saroo, Fenrir and, where available, good old-fashioned compact disc. Does every game on Saroo see a benefit? Let's take a look. Why SNK, you might ask? Well, as something of a fighting game enthusiast, I wanted to see if Saroo's load times were massively improved on 2D brawlers. As you can see here, Street Fighter Alpha 2 didn't really yield too much by way of improvements, which seemed pretty typical of Capcom's games to be honest, including those that support the 4MB expanded RAM card. For SNK though, the load times in some games were immediately noticeably better, as we shall see. We're going to start off with World Heroes Perfect because SNK's Oddball Fighter, featuring infamous historical figures, does not use any RAM expansion whatsoever. That said, load times weren't actually too egregious originally, with only one big load screen at the start and then slight pauses after each match.
Little poll. Did you ever play a Sega Saturn when they were first released? Type 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 PS1 forever! 1, 2, or 3, type in the chat. And we're going to continue watching this. But they go through and they test all the games with the different ways to mod the Saturn. And basically, this video is not even the newest video. In their newest video, they show you how to do the final update to the Saroo to get it on the newest version. And then from that point, basically all your games are going to be like just purring like a kitty. I mean, they basically got the timing perfect. They figured out a way to, they basically broke the code or whatever that was making it occasionally not sync with the games. So very exciting. It's very good emulation. You know, there probably is, now someone's probably going to find some game that doesn't work, but I can tell you the amount of quality you get for getting into this mod, it's incredible. I cannot recommend it highly enough. It's fantastic. So let's go back.
But they are still there, lasting a few seconds on both Fenrir and using my original disc. It seems that Fenrir closely mimics the disc access times, as the pauses on the ODE lined up with when I heard the drive on my disc version, which makes sense, considering that Fenrir is of course a drive emulator. Saroo, however, removes all of the loading. As you can see, loading is pretty much instantaneous. It is literally like playing the arcade version, and you wouldn't think that you're playing this on a disc-based system at all, because I guess you aren't with the Saroo. Anyway, just look at these side-by-side comparisons.
You saw how much faster the Saroo loads up the game. He's running all three forms, the original disc, the competitor, and Saroo all at the same time. And you could see Saroo is like blowing it away. Watch this video footage, it's incredible. But I mean, it just plays the game so well. Take that away for a while.
The next game we're going to talk about also doesn't use the expanded RAM card. This is Fatal Fury 3, or to give it its Japanese name, Garou Denset Road to Final Victory, and it also shows hugely improved load times. Without Saroo, we can see the loading animation at nearly every screen, sometimes for prolonged periods. The footage on this occasion is all captured from Fenrir, since I don't actually own the physical version of this game. On Saroo, we see those loading screens for a fraction of a second. In fact, if you didn't get that flash between menus,
look at that,
you probably wouldn't notice any loading at all. Loading does still last a few seconds before actual fights, but it's a fraction compared to the whopping 20 seconds when playing from another ODE, or from the disc version. It's not quite instant like World Heroes Perfect, but it's a huge improvement, making playing this game that much more like an arcade experience.
Carry 1. Okay. Southtown Airport.
Look how much faster and smoother it's running the game.
Go.
It's already fighting. Okay, so you can kind of see what's going on. You can see that it's absolutely running the games super smooth. Look at that, it's incredible. I'm just going to skip around the video. Go check out the SegaGuys. This channel is fantastic. It's where I'm going to recommend you go for your Saturn content. If you do want to get the cartridge, I do have the link, Amazon link in my description, and that is the one that I have with all the goodies on it. So let's just cut into a few games real quick. He goes through all the SNK games available on Saturn. But you can see the speed difference when the games are loading up. I mean, the Saroo is already getting into loading the game, and boom. And this was actually the version of the firmware before the version I have, so they even made it better. The newest firmware is incredible. Let's watch some other games.
Okay. Next battle versus Terry USA.
You seeing the games load up? Saroo is way faster.
This is the title that prompted this video, and is an interesting one as it's the only non-fighting game in these comparisons. On disc, you get a 10-second initial load, and a further 8-second load before each level begins. This was, quite honestly, a revelation back in the 90s, with loading that was much faster than on the Sony PlayStation, and didn't feature any of that port's mid-game loading. It was even faster than SNK's own Neo Geo CD version, though obviously well behind the original MVS and AES systems. On Saroo, however, that initial load lasts for just over a second, and each stage from then on just takes 2 seconds to load. This gives you a near arcade-like experience, and if those loading bars didn't flash up between stages, you'd be forgiven for thinking that there was no loading at all. Is it any wonder that when I first played this on Saroo, I was so blown away?
This is crazy, look at it. Look at the difference. Wow, look at that. That's insane.
Thank you.
The next two games are ones that I do not own the physical disc for, but both come from the same series and use the 1 MB RAM card. We'll start with Samurai Spirit's Zenkuro Musoken, or Samurai Showdown 3 as the game is known
That's what I'm talking about.
in the West. There doesn't appear to be a loading splash. The game just jumps straight into the intro, and from there you can navigate through the options and into the character select without any delay. However, when the fight begins, you get a please wait screen, which sits there for around 10 seconds. And once again, we get a similar story on Saroo. Those please wait loading screens only appear for around 2 seconds, and like the other games, if there was no loading splash screen, you could be fooled into thinking there's no loading at all.
Yeah, once again, I was really surprised that the quality of the 2D games with the Saroo cart are fantastic. Really fun ways to play these games. Sega Saturn systems are everywhere. You know, you get this cart, there's no modding to do, you just plug in the cart. You know, if you want to update to the newest firmware, you're even going to get better performance. And even on this video, because there was one more update after this, but this is before the final update, which basically corrected all the timing issues. Oh, let me remove myself so it doesn't stutter.
Samurai Spirit's Amakisa Kurin, or Samurai Showdown 4, changes things up a bit. There's a loading splash here. On Fenrir, that took about 10 seconds to get through, and then there's 12 seconds for the first match to start. After that though, the following matches only take 6 seconds to load in. Does Saroo make a huge difference? Well, for the first time in this video, the results are kinda mixed. Yes, there are improvements, but for this game, they're not as pronounced. The first load screen lasts for 7 seconds, so is only 3 seconds faster. Once you beat your first opponent, the following matches all load rapidly compared to Fenrir at 2 seconds. But given that the game on Fenrir loads in 6, it's not a massive gain. The big win, however, is on the first match, which takes just 3 seconds to load compared to Fenrir's 12. I have a theory as to why we're not seeing such a big gain on this game, but we'll come on to that later. Now, onto the big ones, the King of Fighters. This series on console is one of my favourites, but the ports are somewhat notorious for their loading, whether on PlayStation, Neo Geo CD or Sega Saturn. I'm only covering 96 and 97 here. 95, with its ROM cart, was problematic for a number of reasons, but hopefully I'll be able to cover that in a video down the line. We're going to start then with 96. We see some differences in the boot between Fenrir and CD at 9 seconds on the ODE compared to 11 on disc, but after that things line up between the two. The first match takes 13 seconds to load on both, with the next fighter in the team taking 6 seconds to load in, and that is generally the pattern. 13 seconds to load a new stage, 6 seconds for a new fighter. Saroo absolutely obliterates these load times. The initial boot may only yield a modest improvement of 7 seconds, but after that, stages take 3 seconds to load in, and a new fighter, just 1. It's an absolutely stunning improvement, and once again, I'm lamenting loading screens appearing at all, especially since they break up the amazing soundtrack.
Hey, come on, come on.
'97 meanwhile is a little different, and so I approached that slightly differently. When I was testing 96, not only were Fenrir load times about the same as on disc, as was almost every other game, but I did get the old 4MB graphical corruption when using my Action Replay cart. So I switched it up. I use the patched version on Fenrir, which supports the 4 megabit RAM card, to see if that made a difference. That said, King of Fighters 97 supported the 4 megabyte card at retail, so I was interested to see the patch's results. Booting it up, Fenrir actually came in the fastest at 10 seconds. Saroo was just behind at 12, and the disc version came in at a whopping 16 seconds. Yeah, I remember looking at that load screen very well. However, we soon fall into a similar rhythm to 96. New stages take 13 seconds to load on both disc and Fenrir, with new fighters taking 5 seconds to load. Saroo doesn't enjoy the near instant load times that it did in 96 here. The first match takes 6 seconds to load, which is a big improvement, but the additional fighters take 3 seconds to load, which is only a 2-second saving on the other two. While not the monumental improvement we've seen elsewhere, it's still something of a welcome one.
Round 2. Lady, go!
So, those are the games that I had tested. In most of them, Saroo produced simply transformational results with load times that felt near instant. Of the 2 games that didn't show dramatic improvements in load times, both Samurai Showdown 4 and the King of Fighters 97 support the 4 megabyte RAM card in addition to the 1 megabyte one. This leads me to believe that games that use that expansion cart access the drive image in a different way, and that would explain why games such as Street Fighter 03 and X-Men vs Street Fighter also didn't yield significant improvements on Saroo. This also seemed to persist with Capcom's other games, the very small improvements on Street Fighter Alpha 2 being an example. But that doesn't take away from the game-changing improvements on SNK's games here, especially those that use the 1 megabyte RAM card. Some of these feel like they're pretty much arcade perfect, and others simply make the whole experience so much better without so many pauses and waiting. Of course, you can play these today emulated or on modern consoles, but there's something special about playing these Sega Saturn ports, especially with those arranged soundtracks. They were already superior to their PS1 cousins, and quite often also to the Neo Geo CD versions, and Saroo only elevates them even further, which makes Saroo essential for SNK fans. While James and I have previously tempered our recommendations on Saroo versus other ODE options, for me, if you love these games like I do, Saroo is a must-have. But hey, what do you think? Hopefully this has been entertaining and informative, and if you've enjoyed this content, please give us a like and a subscribe, as that really helps the channel. And until next time, we will see you on the Sega side.
Yeah, that was the SegaGuys. Definitely check out their channel. Fantastic channel for Sega Saturn content. I do have the link in the description of this video if you're interested in getting the Saroo card, the one that I showed in the video. And that being said, the last thing we're going to do, let me take that down real quick. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the movies. It's time to go to the movies with my free movie of the week. And the free movie for this week, it's going to be a free movie on YouTube. It costs you nothing to watch it. Absolutely free. Free movie I'm going to recommend for this week is They Live. Fantastic movie. If you've not checked this one out, it's a super fun movie. It's a John Carpenter movie. It's got a little bit of a sci-fi twist to it. But check out They Live. Free on YouTube. Hey everybody, welcome back to Retro Legends Arcade. I'm Papa Brad, and today we're talking about one of the coolest cult classics of the 1980s that you can currently watch for free with ads on YouTube Movies. I'm talking about 1988's classic, They Live. directed by the master himself, John Carpenter. Grab your sunglasses, because here are 5 interesting things you may not know about They Live. Number 5. It stars a professional wrestling legend. Before he was fighting aliens with a shotgun, the movie's hero, Nada, was played by wrestling icon Roddy Piper. At the time, Piper was one of the biggest stars in the World Wrestling Federation, famous for his rowdy persona. John Carpenter saw Piper's charisma, and he thought he looked like an everyday working-class hero. It turned out to be the perfect casting choice, and many fans now consider it to be Piper's greatest acting role. Fact number 4. That alley fight is legendary. The famous fight between Nada and Frank wasn't supposed to be nearly as elaborate. The script simply said that the two men fight over sunglasses. Instead, Piper and Keith David worked with stunt coordinators to create what became an almost 6-minute long fight. They had rehearsed it for 2 weeks, and today is considered one of the greatest fight scenes in movie history. It's brutal, funny, and it just keeps going and going and going. Fact number 3. The bubblegum line was improvised. You know the line, "I've come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum." Believe it or not, Roddy Piper improvised that iconic quote using material developed a year earlier during his wrestling promos. It became one of the most quoted movie lines of the 1980s, and it helped cement They Live as a cult phenomenon. Number 2, the movie was a commentary on consumer culture. While They Live works perfectly as an alien invasion action movie, Carpenter intended it to be much more than that. The hidden messages revealed through the sunglasses obey, consume, and sleep were meant as satire aimed at excessive consumerism, greed, and corporate culture in the 1980s. Over the years, fans have said the movie feels more relevant than ever. Number 1, it inspired the famous Obey campaign. Artist Shepard Fairey, creator of the Obey street art movement, has created They Live as a major inspiration. Those black and white messages hidden throughout this film influenced his artwork and eventually led to the worldwide Obey clothing brand and posters. So even if you've never seen They Live before, you've probably seen its influence without even realizing it. So there you have it, 5 awesome facts about They Live, one of John Carpenter's most entertaining and thought-provoking movies. If you've never seen it, it's absolutely worth checking out while it's available through YouTube's free movie rotation. Free titles on YouTube change regularly, so don't wait too long. YouTube's Primetime Movies program offers ad-supported films at no cost to viewers in supported regions. Have you seen They Live? What's your favorite moment? Is it the sunglasses, the bubblegum line, or the never-ending alley fight? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode of the Retro Legends Arcade, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a trip into arcade gaming and retro pop culture. Until next time, Papa Brad reminding you, obey, play more retro games, and keep having fun. Thanks so much for watching. There you go. That's it. That was the last segment. Hold on a second. Let me remove that. Remove that. Okay. Had a great show. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again next week. And everyone stay legit. Have a great weekend. Appreciate you. If you get time, drop some scores on our leaderboards. If you're interested in modding your Sega Saturn or getting into the Sega Saturn, got a good link for that awesome cartridge. Everyone take care, peace, have a great weekend.
Well, Papa Brad's a gay man, he's got passion in his soul. From pinball tables to Atari, he's always in control. He's a master of retrogaming, the old school style's his thing. With every flick of the joystick, You can hear the twang ting. Stay legit, Papa Brad, keep the high school living. From the classic arcades to the AtGames pinball board with the Atari 2600. Your love for games will never quit. Stay true yourself, Papa Brad, and always stay legit. He's a lover of the classics, the sound of pixelated beats, late nights at the arcade with every game defeat. But he'll keep on pushing till he's reached that final stage. Papa Brad's the gaming legend, his passion never fades. Stay legit, Papa Brad, keep the high school rolling. From the classic arcades to the AtGames pinball board with the Atari 2600. Your love for games will never quit. Stay true yourself, Papa Brad, and always stay legit. He's a